This video is sponsored by Native. Native is a high-performance and earth-friendly deodorant that comes in many amazing scents. Native's formula is vegan and paraben and aluminum-free. My 3 favorite scents are lilac and white tea, citrus and herbal musk, and eucalyptus and mint. The fragrances are very true to their titles, and honestly, they smell just like fancy essential oils. Is it weird that I kind of want to take a bite out of the lilac and white tea fragrance? It just smells so delicious. If you have sensitive skin, make sure to check out Native's Sensitive range made free of baking soda. Instead, it uses antimicrobial, magnesium oxide, and coconut oil for 72-hour protection. Native also offers 100% plastic-free options where these formulas are placed in 90% post-consumer recycled paper. It's challenging living in a world where there's so much environmental sourcing everywhere you turn, so making small conscious efforts like this really is the way for us to collectively help our planet. As a proud partner of 1% for the Planet, Native will donate 1% of plastic-free deodorant sales to environmental nonprofits. 3 plastic-free deodorants would cost $39, but if you use my link and code PEARL, you'll get them for only $26. That's over 33% off, and with my code, you can also get 20% off Native toothpaste and body wash. Thanks for listening, and now let's get into this Katya drag transformation.
Pearl!
Aw, Katie! I love you so much.
I
Thanks
love
so
you
much.
too.
We're having a little season 7 reunion that nobody certainly asked for today. Trixie died, so we are here filming the next episode of
Yeah, I'm wearing a R.I.P. Trixie.
Oh
Sunburn.
my
She
God.
died of a sunburn.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's absolutely foul. Katya is a relatively well-known drag artist from...
I'm trying to break into the business.
Yeah.
It's hard at 40.
Well, let's get you some followers,
Okay. Thank you so much for having me on your channel. I'm really desperate.
Well, Katya just relapsed in front of all of us, so let's go ahead and get started before she loses her mind again.
Oh wait, I need you to call attention to something.
Okay.
This extreme discoloration that you might be noticing right here.
I didn't want to say anything.
Well, that's why I'm saying it. I've shaved my head relatively, like, with a Bic this morning, but I have this discoloration here. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to address it so that we don't need to go into the comments section about it. Look how white it is here, and look how red it is here.
Well, let's slap some grease paint on this mess.
Yeah,
and then
let's
we'll
do
never
it.
even know.
Let's paint up the pig and send her out to wiggle. So excited to get my makeup done for the first time.
You ready to be pretty for the first time?
I've been ugly all my life. The food's here?
Yeah, I have to go to the
Yeah,
door.
go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
Well, 'cause
no,
you
you
guys were
mustn't
in the middle
cross
of
the frames.
You
They-
guys were like mid-sentence.
If they know someone else is here, it won't work.
Yes.
Looks like an Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow.
I
kit.
got this on our season of Drag Race.
Wow. I burned all
So-
my shit immediately. This is a very shoes on type of studio because there are pins and needles
We're gonna
everywhere.
avoid tetanus today.
Yeah, there are.
Go get my tetanus shot after this.
Yeah, among other things, you might want to get a full panel. Do you realize that Miss Fame, she posted a picture that was like 7 years ago today from our show. Like when you
Yeah.
did that mini challenge, I was like,
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
it feels like 17.
I
It
know.
feels like 17.
We're like Drag Race OGs.
Yes, I know.
You know what I mean?
But we're
It
not
was-
even.
It was
like,
so new in the beginning,
Yeah.
but now they're like double and more with All Stars.
yeah.
Like,
Some people are
how many?
watching the show for the first time and starting with our season.
Yeah, like
know-
when they watched our season, they were in high school, and now they're at the in the
Yeah.
dressing room with us.
The current winner, Willow Pill, was born 7 years ago. she wasn't even alive when Drag Race started. People like used to give RuPaul shit about not being able to recognize people, and I'm like, Mary,
How could she?
how could she? She's what, 61? I have a grudge right now. I'm not like
Who with who? Let's talk about that.
I can't, but unfortunately, so I love to just tease the tea out. I'm holding on to a very petty grudge for an unreasonable amount of time, only because it brings me great joy.
Who is it though? And I'll edit it out.
You know you're not gonna edit it. I wasn't born yesterday. Let me cover my mic.
Did you mention?
You know, the only other person to do my makeup has been Fame. So you have a lot. The bar is set really, really high.
Oh please, Miss Fame turns everyone into a fucking
Herself.
matronly grandmother.
I did look 10 years older in her face. I adore her precision and her attention to detail. I also,
Yeah.
what I particularly covet about her is her relentless, just unimaginable skincare
Right.
routine. Smooth, like
Yeah.
Lake Placid, a gorgeous canvas.
And she's older than you.
No, she's not. She's a little bit younger.
Can't you just let me have one?
I know.
One joke.
Take a crumpled up piece of crepe paper and try to do a straight line on it. That's really tough, and she achieved that pretty well.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with these brows right now. She's trying to
I
carve
don't know
out that
how
brow.
you're gonna do it.
How is the dating life being you? Do you date?
Never.
You never date.
No, I don't even know how to have sex. I'm learning though. Nobody will date me. I'm undateable. 'Cause
Nobody will date you?
No, I try and nobody
Really?
will do it. Yeah. You know how you meet somebody and you're like super excited about them and you make a list of pros and cons?
Yeah.
Whether you want to continue to date them or something. My list of cons is so long.
But the Drag Race fandom is so unbelievably thirsty. Surely they'll look past your faults.
Who wants to have a boyfriend that's gone half the year?
They could also be like a good assistant.
I've tried that.
You have? Let's
Yes.
talk about that.
Let's talk about it briefly. I hired an assistant on a whim, like literally, like from as if it was a sitcom or like a crazy screwball comedy. Moved in with me, had sex with him a few times, then declared that we could not have sex anymore, and then things went south very quickly, and I had to fire him. I would prefer not to be involved romantically with someone who cares about drag or something. I'd rather date an electrical engineer who's like, oh, I think what you do is cool and I love that you're successful, but I don't get it. And if I were to do Grindr, please. I'm on Grindr as a boy and all I get is, hey girl, I love you.
Really?
I love you as in I love you on, your web show, not I want to suck your I hear all the time about, photos back and forth, endless messaging. I'm like, if I see somebody marry, it's like get a friend.
Yeah.
Exactly. Read a blog, watch a movie,
Get a life.
talk to your mom. I did have sex in Pittsburgh. And it was fantastic.
Was it?
Found them on Grindr. It was one of the. It's funny. I had few experiences on Grindr, but all of them are extremely efficient and very pleasurable. He passed away, unfortunately. Later that night.
Why does everyone that touches you die?
That's what I'm saying.
After this.
It's like the Ring.
You hit him with the death breath.
I used to have recurring nightmares about working at a Lancome counter in Beverly Hills, and all my clientele were like 90-year-old socialites with like crepe paper skin that wanted to look like Charlize Theron.
That was like my job as a hairdresser. They bring in a photo of
The most full, luscious, young,
Chloe
healthy.
Grace Moretz.
Yeah, and they're like literally look like the old witch from The Witch.
The Crypt Keeper. With, like only hair on the side.
Yeah, 3 strands of gray like wispies in the.
Oh yeah. And I'd straight up be like, well, let me
The
go get
wig
a wig.
story.
I want to look sunny, but I want to be really toned down. And I want to just
I want like smoky,
but like no
bright.
makeup. Yeah. Like something in black, but like also yellow, and like lashes are super long, but you can't see them.
Everybody who is gay is on K, ketamine, and G, GHB.
My ex-boyfriend wouldn't fuck me unless he was on G.
I recently heard of this. There's a hooker, sex worker, who I'm trying to be up to date. Who consumes a liter of G a month.
How much is a liter?
I don't know.
Oh,
Somebody
okay, so like
Google
a
it.
2 liter is like a thing of Coke.
Yes.
So,
People would be interested to know that it can burn a hole through your fucking cabinet.
can it?
I sure can.
Oh,
Because it's a fucking solvent.
is it?
Yeah, it is an extremely harmful chemical. Now, are you using
You get the scars.
Sherwin-Williams?
It's white out.
Are you using Sherwin-Williams interior semi-gloss? Because that's what you're
Yeah.
gonna need to cover the beard.
This is actually from Revlon.
Revlon? Are
Yeah.
you serious? That's not
Yeah.
gonna work.
Yeah, well,
Oh my
trust me.
god, I don't trust you. But
It's about
we'll see.
technique.
It's about viscosity and age. Actually, I don't use concealer because my foundation is literally
Concealer.
wall paint.
Yeah.
It's
What do you use? The Dermablend?
Dermablend or the
Yeah.
Kevin Aucoin stuff. I need that kind of texture. My beard grows in 6 hours.
You get 5 o'clock shadow at noon.
And it's always 5 o'clock on my face. I've noticed a lot of queens on the show are taking that color correction thing for their beard to.
Oh,
Mary,
such extreme.
It doesn't work like that.
That's
Have
making your face
orange, and then you're having to paint
Unless
over
you're
that.
using blue foundation.
No, unless you have
now
a
to
Smurf
cover
face, like a Smurf beard.
Yeah.
I was like, what are y'all doing?
I
It's
know, they're so dumb.
You haven't been doing drag for that long, clearly, because you would be trying to cut corners, not add steps that are useless.
Look at Nikita Dragon. She made a fortune selling beard cover to a bunch of teenage girls.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she came out with a beard cover, and her audience is like tween girls.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Some girls do have beards.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
And that's fucking valid.
The very first like cool opportunities I had in drag well before Drag Race was this like fashion spread for this stupid magazine in Boston. And long story short, this
She was a high fashion model.
I was in this makeup artist from Shuamura. I was like this really fancy Japanese makeup company was doing my makeup. I did my foundation because I don't trust anybody to do that. But she did eyeliner underneath my lash, my top lid. And I was like, bitch, what the are you trying to do? Like, what do you think is going on here?
Yeah.
Do you think it's like the Discovery Channel on a close-up of my eye? Like,
Yeah.
what do you think is happening?
No, it's so necessary though.
No. It is for women. It is for beauty makeup.
So you've never noticed on a drag queen when they have a light on them how it looks like their lash is floating because you can see a white line above their iris?
If you do mascara, liquid liner on top and properly glue your lashes down with black
You can
glue,
still see it though.
you cannot.
You can.
Oh, we'll do some high
You're
res.
very argumentative today.
I know.
And I'm sick of it!
It was insane. When you saw the shots that they got, I'm like, this is my whole body.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not even a remotely close up. I'm a blurry
they
background.
weren't beauty shots.
No,
is what you're
bitch.
saying.
It was like, it wasn't like a Times Square like face campaign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then it's like, yeah, it's like having someone put contacts in your eyes.
When I started wearing contacts, I went and got contacts. The lady had these long, hot pink nails.
Forget it. Get
Yeah,
out.
I was like, really?
Just stick a chainsaw and just, like stick it right through me.
I just saw like what do they call it? A reel
Uh-huh.
Bob the drag queen trying to put contacts in for like a minute straight.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do it.
It's so funny. For some reason, I was so impressed about, RuPaul.
Sorry.
I don't mean to mention your nemesis, like, again, not intentionally trying to antagonize
Oh my
you.
god, the Pearl RuPaul drama is so 2015.
One of the most vivid memories I have of her, I
that?
think it's probably from All Stars,
Uh-huh.
is her at the judges table in full beat and everything, putting eye drops into her eyes perfectly with no
mirror.
no
That's
fallout.
because she's a sociopath.
I know. No mirror, no checking, no doubt that it was just bizarre to me.
She's been doing it for
Maybe
a
she
long,
was faking it.
long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Well, when you're 370 years old,
You learn to do stuff
yeah,
without
and you have
mirror.
glass eyes. Maybe it was G.
Yeah, she is.
She was dosing.
met-
Tom Holland, who's 25, English actor, and Zendaya, who is probably around the same
17.
age. Yeah, they are so talented.
Yeah?
I
I haven't seen Zendaya in anything.
Oh my god. I mean, she is a phenomenon.
Is she?
Yeah, she was a Disney star. Full scope of her talent is not often utilized, like Dune, for example, but she's sensational in Euphoria.
Why are all of my adult friends watching this tween shit?
It's not tween. They're definitely late teens, but they are still
Teen, tween. You were still
it's
adult.
16 and 17-year-olds like getting high and having lots of sex.
Is it kind of creepy that we're watching?
Yes, it's
young
extremely
people-
creepy.
Yeah.
It's extremely creepy.
Why are we doing that?
I don't know, because
Why
we're
is that
obsessed with
different?
youth, and that's the only acceptable population that Hollywood seems to, I don't know.
And everyone's relating. Like, oh, you're a Sydney. Oh, you're a girl with the dark hair that was beating on the door.
Maddie.
It's like, no, you're a bunch of grown men.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
either of those
I'm
girls.
not a 17-year-old girl with big breasts.
You can absolutely walk through the frame.
Oh my god, it's fine. It's not like it's gonna be ruined if there's other people. We live in a world with people in it.
People.
Yeah. We have friends.
This is a post-apocalyptic
Yeah. The last two bags on earth to see if they can do a makeup. Are you doing a whole? We're gonna do Elizabethan. We're gonna go.
Yeah, a ridge caliber
ridge,
ear
yeah.
ear.
I love that look, by the way. That like hairline that starts at the crown of the head.
Very Dragula.
Don't do meth, kids.
You know,
Don't
you
do
gotta
G.
take a break.
Don't do G either. God damn it. I'm surprised that there's no discretion either. It's open. At Violet's show, Mary, people were at the theater.
The theater.
Doing K and G at the theater? This is a fantastic show. What are y'all doing?
People had to do G and K just to get to her show.
I know, God. Oh, she's on the hoop again. Oh wow, there's another garter belt.
Not this, a lot more me.
Yeah, a lot more G. Speaking of perfection and unsustainability and drag, Violet, like all I could do during her show was imagine what is happening backstage, and it just gave me so much anxiety.
What do you mean?
Changing into outfits that have lots of pieces and that need to look perfect, and that with me it's like making mistakes is the whole gig. You know, when me and Trixie do our show and forget lines, sometimes it's the funniest part of the show.
Yeah.
And also it's like if I come out in a shitty sweaty wig, people are like, oh, it's Katya. It sounds so f***ing lame and corny, but like, although people now, I think, take it to an extreme with the branding. They think about being yourself as creating a brand. Like, oh, I have weird, crazy eyebrows that don't look good, but that's me. You know, it's like, oh. It's always a lovely treat to say you look, or to have someone think you look better in person, which is a frequent thing I hear at a meet and greet. Almost to the point where it's maybe like, maybe I need better pictures.
No, people would say that to me too.
Yeah, I mean, you do look stunning in person.
Oh, thanks.
But because you also, I feel like your photographs were accurate representations of what was going on.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Now
Just
it's
to make up application.
full catfish.
Oh, now it's just, it's Avatar.
Yeah.
My problem is that I can look great for 1 hour.
Yeah, and then it just starts to combust.
It is a crumbling tower. It's a house of cards.
Since I haven't been doing a lot of shows, I am so exhausted by the time I'm in the drag and I'm like,
Mary.
I can't believe I used to go and do a show after this.
And then another show, and then another show,
and then do it again
club,
the next night,
buzz,
the next
you know,
night.
yeah, the whole thing. The first couple years, I did it stone cold sober to all that schedule. I mean, a lot of it was the adrenaline, the joy, the newness of it. I mean, it was like hitting the jackpot.
Yeah, but that
goes
away
it doesn't last forever, and then
No.
you're in Chile at 4 a.m. and you're like, chewing your face off.
Yeah.
What the f is going on? Trixie she's getting a makeup mileage. She's putting a lot on that grill.
Yeah.
That bitch is painted up every fucking day.
Right. Like, how does she even take her makeup off at this point? It hurts.
The thing that helps, she doesn't have full beard. She can't grow a beard.
Oh, okay.
That's the big one. I have a lumberjack beard.
Yeah.
I have a cartoon pilot beard. And when I wanted to hook up, if kissing was off the table after a show, because then it's like, oh, do you like coarse ground sandpaper or do you want like stucco? Do you know what I mean? Luckily with theater, with these kind of shows we're doing in these larger venues, it's forgiving because you just need to see a red mouth and black circles and a blonde mess. Just a wet raccoon wiggling around.
Very aesthetic.
Girl, you should see me after that finale number. If there's half of these venues haven't had proper AC.
Yeah.
It looks like
Because they're all ancient theaters, of course.
No, they're not. That's the thing. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Oh, really?
Some of these ancient theaters are like fierce. Shout out to the Lincoln Theater in Washington, D.C.
I always hated working at those ancient theaters because
if
the dressing rooms for the
if it's
tiny
abroad, if
little
the UK,
starlets,
girl, you have to bring your old oil lamp for the dressing room.
Yes.
It's like AC, like what is that? The window of freshness, especially on camera, like doing 12-hour shoots, it's not possible. Are you contouring my lips?
Yeah.
Wow. What have you had done?
Just
lips?
Just lips.
Lips, yeah.
Just lips and Botox.
Lips, Botox, yeah.
Yeah, but thank God for scar tissue because I haven't had my lips done in like years.
Yeah, they look fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love these giant ones.
They're beautiful.
I will not. I don't need to go any bigger.
Yeah, for a minute I was kind of having a little too much fun with it.
Yeah, but I have friends who have inner tubes and I'm like, the slippery slope becomes an avalanche.
Yeah.
But also, there's a limit. Once your inner flesh is peeking out, I think you know. Do you know what I mean?
This one?
Yeah. Your mouth is drying out because your wet mucous membranes are exposed.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for the first time I ever got them done because they were done by this girl who didn't really know what she was doing, and she was telling me to go home and massage your lips all night. Just press and squish and press and squish. And I went home and I did that. And my lips were like, but I'm grateful because that fucked my shit up so bad that I never had to get a ton of filler after that. I would only ever have to get a little topper.
They don't. Yeah, they look natural. They look like
Very
you were
natural.
born with that. I like my nose.
Yeah, you don't have to do too much.
No, it is tricky though because I don't have to do too much. It's easy to do not enough and too much. Trixie, on the other hand,
It's like a landing strip.
yeah, she just has to like paint in the
An
traffic
exclamation
lines,
mark,
like
yeah.
on the dirt road.
Do you two ever get sick of each other?
We never see each other.
Oh, you don't?
No.
It looks like you live together.
No, we hardly ever see each other. We talk, we're in contact pretty constantly, but most of the time, because the nature of our jobs is to catch up and be improv about stuff naturally and not act. It's important that we don't see each other in order to produce good work.
How many shows do you have together at this point?
We have 2 web series, we have a podcast, and we have a live theater show. In addition to that, she has a makeup company, a recording career,
A hotel.
a motel, a TV show, another TV show, Queen of the Universe, and there's a few other things. Oh no, we also have a Substack and a fucking book together.
Wow.
So we have, it's a lot.
Have you and Trixie ever gotten into like a fight? And then if you have, did you have to come together and just like work and like...
Yeah, she made a
Be
documentary
professional.
about it.
What do you mean?
She made a documentary about it. For me, it's not a real fight because I don't remember it because I was in a psychotic meth-fueled blackout.
Okay.
So
Relatable.
I had very scary bouts of like psychosis that was over like a few months, and I attacked.
Are we safe?
Oh yeah, you're good. Not from me. Larry, come on. I almost destroyed our friendship and working relationship. But it was like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. I'm not making excuses for myself, but it's like a bad dream that you don't even you weren't there.
So what do you mean she made a documentary about it?
So
though?
she had been in the so while that was going on,
Just
there was a
almost,
documentary being made about her.
while all of that was going on. So
Halfway through.
So they made it a part of her documentary.
They did, yeah.
Because she didn't have enough going on with her books and hotels and tours.
Well,
and
this is way before
dolls
that.
and
This is way
whatever.
before that. This is when we started. We got.
This wasn't recent.
No. It was, I think it was 2018. We got a show on Viceland, and midway through the show, I went nuts. Had to leave the show and go to rehab. But before I went to rehab, things got really, really bad. I got kicked out of my place downtown. I threatened the police naked. They took me to the hospital, shot me for Ativan, and then just sent me on my way. And then I went home and then used again, like immediately.
Oh, I'm glad all of my tax dollars are going to...
Oh yeah, Cedar Sinai.
Yeah.
Handcuffed to the gurney though.
Thank
Handcuffed
God.
to the gurney, yeah.
We did one thing, right?
Yeah. And then they fingered me too.
Really?
No.
What's not bad? At least that's
I sent her a guy I was dating, a bunch of other people, some text emails.
Is it okay if this is put... left
Yeah.
in the-
Some horrifyingly evil stuff.
Like what?
Like,
You don't have to
no,
say if you
just
don't
like the most hurtful, evil, and also unintelligible things like, I'm gonna kill you.
And you're Katya, the most
psych.
lovable person on reality TV, and just completely...
Evil monster. And none of it doesn't necessarily have any correlation to reality. Some of it, you could analyze and stuff, whatever. But it was like, your friend is crazy now.
So when you saw that she was discussing all of this in her documentary, how did you feel?
I watched it and I was like, oh my God, I don't want this. Of course I don't want anybody to see it, but it was the truth. And they're making a documentary.
So you sued.
Yeah. So me and my team.
Do I make this lawsuit after
To RuPaul. I was surprised by the tone of the documentary because it was surprisingly...
Melancholy.
Yes, melancholy is the perfect word. Here you have this pink cartoon character, this pink giant male Barbie, and it was a very solemn, urban poverty, with was abused by her stepfather. You know, like there's a lot of
Victim. Your storyline was just like the cherry on the cake.
yeah. What was the turd in the salad? Let's say.
Right.
Yeah.
So she was abused by her stepfather, and now she's abused by Katya
Yeah.
in her adult life.
Now I'm her father.
Right.
So I had her legs broken and they healed and we moved on. You know, it's whatever. It's in the past. If you can't move on, that's not my problem. No.
Get over it. I'm over it.
Yeah, hello. I'm fine. I'm doing great. I'm thriving. There's a lot of things that I really like about her, and one of them is that she does not take things personally. She's the most bullshit-free person ever. There's no games. There's no guessing. There's nobody.
Such a rare personality
There
trait.
is in a gay drag queen,
Yeah,
bitch, or in
totally.
entertainment. She's the only person in my life that I could be like, go directly, immediately to, and be like, here's how I feel about this. This is the situation, and I just want to talk about it or work through it or whatever. And just there's no bullshit. Well, because of that, the danger with her personality is that sometimes she's perceived as not insensitive, rude.
Yeah.
A bit rude, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
like a little bit abrupt or not friendly. I remember when we were touring, you know, right after the show, I was like on a trail kind of following her, and I would like very personable and like friendly, and I would make instant friends with like the show hostess and stuff, and they're like, girl, what is with your friend Trixie? She's such a bitch.
Yeah.
But she's not. She just assumes that you're instant friends, so she's casual with you.
Oh, I see.
She skips the niceties, and she doesn't know how to do all that, like, she's not super socially apt, but she doesn't ever feel like she's better than anybody, and wouldn't ever act like that.
Well, she's so successful that I wouldn't fault her or blame her if she was like very cold with people that aren't going to be a constant in her life. Like, it's just work.
Right.
Why does she have to be
Yeah.
like some goddamn...
Also, she's not a hugger, and this is something that I
Not a
adapted
hugger.
to, but I changed about myself. I don't like this whole thing. I was like, girl, who the what is the queen of it? Like, what are we, English, French? Like, what's happening with all this fake friend shit? And she just didn't buy into that. Like, she just, but she's a very, like, she's a very caring person. I was so grateful not to be in that top 3. You have no idea. I wouldn't have made it.
We received so much goddamn hell.
Oh my god.
That was definitely a very brutal time in my life.
Yeah, the two of you were so young.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dude, I had been doing drag for like 10 months when I stepped onto that studio. I was just so inexperienced, so like young, you know, I didn't have a lick of self-confidence.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I just had a couple more years, it would have been so easy to win.
You would have been the first cool drag queen.
Yes.
Like, that sounds kind of hokey to say now, being a 40-year-old, to say the word cool, but like, but they're just, drag was not cool.
No.
It was not cool.
They're a bunch of dorks.
Dorks, outcasts, not in a sexy way. Also, your big aunt should have won Snatch Game.
I was really afraid of how I was gonna come off because I'm like a rotted person on the inside. And I was really afraid that people, well, now I don't care. Now I just project.
What do you mean? So how do you, be more specific?
I was dealing with a lot of trauma. Like, my life was in a really weird place when I went onto the show. I had so many secrets when I walked onto that set, and now I'm like in front of cameras and people are like, what are your secrets? What are your secrets? What are your secrets? I'm like, my own friends and family, like my closest friends don't even know anything about me, actually.
Oh,
so
you really shouldn't have gone on reality TV.
No! If I actually was secure with myself, I had done the therapy, I had come to terms with things that had gone on in my life and in my past, I would have had a great storyline.
And a good time.
It would,
Yeah,
exactly. I wasn't about to start telling anybody anything that I had never even spoken of, like, out loud.
I'm so glad you didn't.
I know, exactly. And they were trying to pull it out of me constantly. And I literally didn't even realize anything was wrong with me yet. It was like that, you know what I mean? And then it was throughout.
You can't establish boundaries for something you don't even know exists.
Yeah,
Like,
so it was really confusing too, because I'm like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And I didn't even, like, I just had no sense of self. I'm like this rotted, traumatized person who needs like years of development.
in the industry, Drag Race is one of the few, like, the lesser evil in terms of, like, psychological warfare.
Drag Race is one of the lesser.
Yeah.
I think it is now.
Yeah. And I think, but I mean, I can only imagine the early days of like reality, you know, real world, like way back when there was just like
There is
no morality.
no-
It's just surveillance and manipulation and torture.
Right.
You know?
There is no awareness of mental health
And also, Drag Race is a competition. It's focused around skill sets. So
Yeah.
it's like there is something to ground it to. I couldn't survive now because it's so hokey. What would you say to little whatever? I genuinely
God.
would not have been able to do that. I'm saying it on the
was
same
most
way as like if they
embarrassing.
say walk on water. I can't do that. I couldn't have done that. Lil Brian, you are so fat. Lose some weight, you fat bitch. You know, I mean, I don't know what they're like. Girl, get your
Yeah.
teeth fixed.
Right, like I was holding a football in my picture. It's
Like-
like, why didn't I say, get rid of that
Yeah,
football,
no.
you little...
Yeah, just like in the trenches mentality when you get there and you do, I mean, at least I did, immediately lost perspective that we're making a silly reality show about men and about pigs in wigs.
Totally lost on me.
You know?
When I walked onto that set, it was like I had never even seen the show before.
Well, also, they don't tell you anything. They don't say, hey, we're gonna pause and repo the cameras. It's gonna feel weird.
Yeah, they don't like
You just
give
feel
you a little
nothing.
Yeah.
They keep you
just
in the
throw
dark.
you into
and
reality TV
no
programming.
TV 101.
Just tell us what set life is like. Just for
basics. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna have to wait.
Mhm.
You know, this might happen. That would have been. I remember that first day, and how long it felt in the workroom because I was like, it felt like a David Lynch movie. The timing of everything. This 40-minute show was somehow 4 days.
RuPaul could have said, don't talk while the cameras are rolling
Exactly.
because we really need the blah blah
Because
blah.
if something happens and
it
can
makes
catch
sense.
it makes perfect
Makes
sense
perfect
if
sense.
you contextualize it in a civil, like
Right.
logical and friendly way for a beginner. It helps to know someone who's been on the show. I didn't. I knew Jujubee, but she was on season 2. That was a whole different show back then. Although nowadays, fuck it. I don't want to talk to any of the girls to get on the show because all I tell them is don't spend 80 grand on your fucking wardrobe and get kicked off in the second episode. How do they afford that? Girl, I had $0. I had deposited 2 of our checks while we were on there to prevent overdraft fees.
The last day when they finally gave us our phones back, I turned my phone on and I had no service because I had to pay my bill.
Yeah.
And I didn't have enough money in my account to pay my bill, and the PA had to drive me to Chase, and I had to use my $2,000 Drag Race check, deposit, pay my bill, call my friend and say, okay, I'm finally coming home.
They didn't fly me. They flew me home on Delta, so I had my 5 bags cost over $500.
Oh God.
And they were going to reimburse me, of course, but I did not have the money to pay for it.
Pay for it, right.
I was like, what do? I had to call I don't even know what I did. I had to call my parents or something.
I had like 3 outfits prepared. And I just brought 5 bags full of like my drag clothes. And it wasn't like, oh God, there's no time or anything. It was because my dumb ass had like never seen the show before all of a sudden. And I didn't realize like, no, every look should be very well
Distinct.
thought out.
Yeah.
Here's your bag of accessories with this look. Here's your wig for this look, blah, blah, blah. And
So you just improvised your way to the top 3?
remember our fashion show?
Oh yeah.
Those were all laid out on the hotel bed, and I was like, I guess I'll wear this one. That would be a good fall outfit. I didn't comprehend like what I was supposed to be doing on there. Like I really didn't get it. People hate me. I didn't get it.
I'm sorry. It's so tough. You know
Okay, just close.
Do you know what I usually do? I close and pull.
Oh God, we don't do that.
Why not? Why?
No, because then when you let it go, it goes.
No, I mean I'm conscious of like I make a thing and I do there's a blueprint. There's a method.
Okay. That's why all of your looks are smoky.
But like you know,
Black
smudgy.
garage doors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put it away. This is my channel. I'm not famous, but I can't even have that on my channel.
Maggie Smith wouldn't even wear that shoe. It's too low. You know, I just want to be like fierce.
I just want to be like,
fierce. I tried to do Trixie's makeup once on my faces.
Yeah, have you guys ever
Miserable failure.
have you ever done
A makeup swap?
yeah.
No, it would be such a great idea. It would take too long and we would both look like dogs. She would look
no
so
point.
ugly and I would look so fucking stupid.
Because she has like a,
A soccer ball.
round. Yeah.
She has a volleyball for a head. And you just do circle, circle, triangle, triangle, line, line.
Yeah.
You know, it's all
That wouldn't
geometry.
work.
No, on all these like
bones.
ridges and like
Valleys.
valleys and no way. She would not look cute. Scott Barnes tried it.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yes, we can, because
He needs to just stick to the supermodels.
J-Lo looks great painted up because
Yeah.
she's Jennifer
J-Lo.
Lopez.
Yeah.
I've seen the bitch close up with no makeup on.
But
She's
you would think that
gorgeous.
he at least would know how to paint a brow on, like from scratch. He didn't do anything right. There was not one decent and Trixie was so nice about it.
She drank the Kool-Aid for about 3 days. And she FaceTimed me right as she left, and she felt like that girl. And
Really?
I kept doing screenshot, because I couldn't control my laughter. I was seeing pink, she was seeing blue. It was so crazy. It was like, is it gold or that dress thing? It was so funny. I think it's because it's so different and so new, and she just trusted him as like a makeup legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes sense. Like, you're gonna go in there assuming it's gonna be the best you've ever looked. But
And then he slapped that wig on it at the end.
that like flat thing. What if I hate this so much I start beating you up?
You might.
Just because it's really easy to make me look ugly. You know what I mean? It's like the lighting has to be right. I can look stunning, and 5 degrees to the left, it's a dog show.
No, that's how it is for all of us. That's
I
drag.
don't think so. I looked at Sarah Jessica Parker doing it, and I was like, she has like this sheer eyeshadow all over her lid. I was like, oh, because that's what women do. They don't paint their faces like fucking clowns.
No. And that's why Scott Barnes is such a terrible drag makeup artist.
Oh yeah, because a woman...
He doesn't get the art of the transformation.
Transformation, literally
Yeah.
taking a block of wood and turning it into like a pearl swan or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
potato into a princess.
Yeah.
He just like shoots that sunscreen spray on them and they get all glossy and a lash.
Do we?
And
I look like a sweaty tweaker. Trixie's face has gotten really refined though, in a way that is like
Yes.
it's beautiful.
Yes.
Like it's a well
She used
constructed
to
work
have
of
the
art.
greasiest nose I've ever seen.
Oh my god, wet brown nose.
Yeah.
Wet
and then it would all
brown.
separate and then like Trixie.
And also
Just powder that
wet,
shit.
a wet pink lip that's like a Kool-Aid mustache. I overslept, and I had trashed the hotel room. Like the bath, it looked like I had been there for 3 weeks. You know, because it's so possible to do when you're like scrambling for a show.
Oh, God.
Makeup's all over the bathroom.
Oh yeah. All the towels are ruined.
All the towels. Somehow you went through 5 towels and didn't even take a shower.
I would have reoccurring nightmares where I was packing and I just couldn't. I would look around and there'd be more stuff. I'd go pack, I'd look around, there's more stuff. And I would just be watching the clock tick by and the Uber's downstairs.
I still don't know why they haven't done a packing mini challenge on Drag Race.
It's like,
That would be so great.
make it relatable
Make
to
it
their real.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like packing and also collecting dollar bills.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then unfurling them and facing them all in the same direction. That's hysterical.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
also like really
That
fun
is
to watch.
hysterical.
Just time lapse. And what are you gonna say to customs when they ask you what you do? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm a DJ.
I actually miss the meet and greet, being able to touch people. We were not able.
You always loved the meet and greets. I don't get it.
It was obviously an important part of the job.
We really love the fans.
I do, and I love touch. Like I know I'm gonna look back on it, you know, when I die at 45 or whatever, you know, and like be like, wow, that was so crazy. Like, people would line up to meet me.
We were like this new kind of celebrity that people didn't really know what to do with. Oh, we're so famous that we're being booked and being paid gobs of money to go and do whatever.
Yeah.
But you could also pay $10 and go meet them face to face
And hug them and then even kiss them or
In
whatever.
what world is that something that any other celebrity is doing? And it's also because you knew what you were getting into with your fans. My fans, I never knew what the next person is going to come up and say to me, try to touch me, say something inappropriate, be creepy.
It's doing like 200 private shows that are like 10 seconds or 2 minutes. You
and
know?
they need to stop calling it meet and greet. They need to call it walk up and take your picture and walk the fuck away.
Photo
and greet.
line. That's the situation with us because of COVID and protocols and everything, we cannot touch, we cannot have contact, and we're separated to an extent. So we're basically like sit adjacent to Santa Claus and take a picture, but don't tell him what you want for Christmas. What Trixie and I have noticed is that people are so scared of us. So scared of us because we're sitting there and we're us, and together we're like very famous. We don't think so because we just feel like 2 fucking old geezers and 2 old bald fucks. Also, when they're drunk, that's the thing I can't fuck with. I can't fuck with drunk people.
They're all drunk. And they'd always do that fucking meet and greet at the end of the show.
Well, it was at the end. That's when I would be like, all right, let's get this the fuck over with. Because there's no... The amount of people who would post pictures and say, I have no memory of this because I was so drunk.
Yeah,
and
it's like, well, I remember.
I fucking remember. Your breath stank. You talked at me for 5 minutes about nothing.
I know, and then they're like tearing them away, and they actually have the audacity to be like
upset.
What? Yeah,
that was crazy.
See, that to me, it was a nightmare. It was just a nightmare. I hated it. I hated being famous.
Trixie has to glue bricks to her face.
She just puts them halfway up her eye.
On her forehead, anyway. Essentially. They're so far away from her eyeballs. Like, it's so funny.
I've always wanted to do her makeup, not as like a glamazon, but a little more...
Human?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Where her eyelid isn't this big.
Or you can
like I just want to fix all the proportions.
Where you can't see her eyes.
Yeah.
They're black.
Yeah, like
it's
I want to...
crazy. It's like she pointed that out to me once, and like having known her for like 6 years, I'm like,
oh yeah.
Oh my god. You could have your eyes closed and we wouldn't know. When she's particularly satisfied with her makeup and look, she would say like, should I be doing porn?
Just a normal porn star.
Yeah,
in
normal.
LA.
Black triangles with no eyeballs. Putting highlight on these old cheeks.
Yeah. You don't do that?
I'm too old.
Too old for highlight?
Yeah, unless you wanna highlight the texture. Highlight those crow's feet.
No, I mean luckily your Botox kicked in while we were doing your makeup, so.
But the Botox doesn't seem to have any effect on the crow's feet, unfortunately. It'll freeze the out of my forehead. Like my forehead
doesn't
is
work
frozen.
down there.
No matter how healthy and well rested and like good you look, when you de-drag, you look fucking awful.
Oh, you could be Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, but like 30 minutes after you take off all your makeup,
Why is that?
you look horrible.
Raw.
Even like if you get all the eyeliner off, like there's no mascara on, not a trace.
You're just like a naked mole rat.
Goblin. There was a guy that was like I was on the tour. We were at a bar and like I met him and we were flirting and he knows me out of drag and he was like down to hook up. So I like went and de-dragged and tried to come back and
Couldn't find him.
no. He was not there. But B, I was like, nobody wants this. Like, and nobody should be subjected to this. It was just like an hour after taking the drag off. It's just, you have to wait till the next day.
Oh.
You gotta sleep it off.
Let the inflammation.
You gotta sleep it off.
Hi guys, I'm Jessica, and I'm ready for fun times with interesting people. I'm 39 years young, about to celebrate the big 4-0 tomorrow, but my skin doesn't sag. I'm always in drag, and
Oh my god! Okay, we're gonna do your reveal.
Okay.
Let me grab a mirror.
So if I throw up, it'll go, the dress is fine, it's already puke colored.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm. What the fuck? Holy shit! I had no idea it was gonna look like this. Like it. Who is what? Who is? Hold on, I have to stand still to look at this.
Yeah.
What the? I smelled something fishy when I felt you go above my Cupid's bow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, mama.
Okay. What the?
She's
Who the
everything.
hell is she? That nasty brown lip, you fucking gross pig. You're such a pig. You're such a. I do not recognize myself at all.
Really?
No.
Do you like it?
I don't think so. I mean, I am fascinated by it. I can't even understand it. My eyes look different color.
Right.
It looks like a
You
different
can see
shape.
them.
I do. Can I be frank with you?
Yeah.
You're not sensitive, are you?
No.
I hate the lips. With a fiery, furious passion. Only because I feel like my face becomes a woman when I put a red lip on. This is the opposite of everything that I do. It's so fascinating.
Yeah.
I look fucking insane. I look like I look like 30% good, 70% evil. You are such a psycho.
Yes.
You are psychotic. I caught Iggy Azalea. Like a squint.
Oh, now she's really feeling herself,
Squint,
isn't
like,
she?
No, I mean, it's very squint.
All right, we're going to Mickey's.
Okay. No, we're going to Craigslist.
That was amazing. Thank you for letting me your face, your smile, and your open and honest
Joie de vivre.
that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you Native for sponsoring this video. Links are in the description below, so check that out and have a lovely evening. We're gonna go walk up and down Santa Monica Boulevard
and read.
find some men.
We're gonna read some horoscopes through a megaphone.
Okay, goodbye. Okay, showing the big reveal. Oh!
I'm a girl.
Oh no. Ah!